Yo, what's up, YouTube? And what's up, all my Facebook viewers? Your boy's back. And this is a video topic request from my boy Isaiah Colston, or also known as Isaiah Kaiser. Well, Colston is his Twitter name, but his real name is Isaiah Kaiser. What's up, homie? This is a video topic request from him, and it says, he says, bro, I got a request video topic. What makes people a 90s kid? And what are people who claim to be 90s kids but are not born in the 1990s? Basically, people from 1997 to 1999. What do you think? Now, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, the three eras that are pretty much the most notable in all our young lives, especially people from this era. And I'm 25 years old, but do I still count as an 80s baby? Now, I actually got a chart to break this down. Here, we have the 1970s, we have the 1980s, the 1990s, and the 2000s from the 2010. Oh yeah, and pretty much anybody from 2004 on up to anybody who's watching this from the 2004 on up, cut the video off and sit your young ass down and go drink some Similac somewhere. Anyway, I often have debates with this about people who are older and younger than me. If you were born in the late 80s, do you still count as an 80s baby? Okay, I count anybody from the 1970s, anybody pretty much from 1969 on back old as hell. I'm just kidding, but I actually grew up with some 70s baby too. Like all my older cousins who are like 10 years older and 15 years older than me. They taught me everything I know. Well, not everything I know, but they taught me most of the stuff that I need to know, and some of the stuff that I was too young to learn. Anyway, off of that, if you were born in the late 80s, if you were born between June, pretty much late 89, anywhere between 89 of June to December, you're no longer an 80s baby. You're a 90s baby because you don't remember shit from the 1980s. Hell, I'll even go as far as to say if you were born in late 88, December, like from like the fourth quarter of 88, from like October, November, December 88, you still don't really count as an 80s baby. And hell, even the 87, even people who were born in 1987, you barely made it as 80s babies. 86, like the prime of the 80s was pretty much from 1980 to 1986. That's pretty much the prime of the 80s, and I guess from late 87 too. Now, do you still really count as an 80s? Now, he says, do you really count as a 90s baby if you were born between 97 and 99? Not really, because you weren't born in the prime of the 90s. Again, not to really, like, most of my viewers were born and raised in the 90s, and pretty much just came up in the 2000 in the new millennium era. But yeah, as far as this is a personal question that I want to ask you guys. For people who were born in whichever era, like, what was your favorite thing from each era? Like I said, I'm not really an 80s baby. Well, like I said, I was born in 89, but I'm 25 years old. But let's see. I don't remember anything, like, if you ask me anything about the 1980s, I couldn't tell you. All I know is just, the old cartoons I used to watch, the reruns of old cartoons. But what I like best about the 80s, I guess, from that era, from what I seen when I was growing up, I would have to say, old school cartoons like, Thundercats, He-Man, and all those other things. The 1990s. What wasn't good about the 1980s? Everything's better in the 1990s. I guess because that's the era that I really came up in, that I really was growing up in. I mean, because I was exposed to a lot. I mean, because come on, that was when the internet started to pop off pretty much. Let's see, Disney movies. All the best Disney movies came out in the 90s. Sports, movies, and music. Pretty much in hip-hop was in its apex. Hip-hop was in its prime between 1992 and 1999, I guess. Well, 1992 and 1998. And don't get me wrong, because there was still plenty of good hip-hop from 2000 on. But I guess about 2007 is when 2000s. I'll just say like 2008 is when hip-hop kind of started to fall off from traditional hip-hop to what all us 90s kids, all us late 80s, early 90s kids started to grow up. And by the way, all us late 80s and early 90s babies, if you was born between 87 and 92, we starting to get up there. We starting to get old. Like, well, not old, but like we're starting to, get into our mid and late 20s, because we're not no spring chickens anymore. We're still in our prime, but we're not those little tykes that we used to be. You know, we're grown now. Like, we're really grown now. And hell, even when you're in the early 20s, you're still, you know, a kid, like a child, because you don't really know shit about the world. And I don't give a damn what people say. Like, graduating high school and stuff like that. Graduating from high school, it doesn't prepare you for the real world. It doesn't teach you how to find a job. It doesn't teach you how to rebuild a resume. It doesn't teach you how to go out and find jobs and what to say and what to do. I mean, it doesn't teach you none of the basic shit that you need to know. Now, as far as, I was getting off topic there, but as far as what I like best about the 2000s, believe it or not, to me, kind of represented diversity in styles. I mean, because the 2000s, it took what was from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s and mixed it all together and put a little new spin on it. Now, people who were born in the 1970s and, you know, and on back, they look at all us 90s and all us 80s, 90s, and 2000s kids like we're like what the hell is wrong with you? What the hell are you wearing? Like, what's up with, like, back in my day we used to wear our clothes on our ass, and I'm like, I'm the weird one, and you wearing skin tight bell bottom jeans and a big ass collar shirt, and I'm the weird one. Yeah, but yeah, the 2000s. I mean, and to me, the 2000s is pretty much the best era of video gaming. You know, gaming and stuff. And the PlayStation 2 is pretty much the greatest system ever, or it's probably pretty much the PlayStation pretty much just changed the game as far as what video game systems, you know, are and what they're supposed to be. And with the PS3 and the PS4, which you see in the background, it took it to an even further level. And yeah, I'll probably give me an Xbox One later on. Now I'm still planning on getting me a Wii U. But anyway, 80s babies, 90s babies, and 2000s babies. Now, we can all agree that what we know right now and everything that we came up under, it wouldn't be nothing if it wasn't for our predecessors. The 80s babies wouldn't be nothing without the 70s babies. The 90s babies wouldn't be nothing without the 80s babies. The 2000s babies wouldn't be nothing without the 90s babies. And it's going to keep on progressing forward, as, you know, in time as we go. And I do look forward to see how far we progress in time, because it's 2015, baby. We ain't going to go nowhere before it. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what life brings me and brings all my friends, family, associates, and all y'all. But anyway, I'm out of here, guys. And you tell me, like, what was your favorite thing about each era that you grew up in? What was your favorite thing about the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and hell, even if you weren't even born in one of those eras, like looking back, and if you, like, you know, look at old tapes and old videos and stuff like that, what was your favorite thing about some of the old eras? But anyway, I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back soon. Peace.